Okay, well, look, I assume they were just going to leave the secret barbeloths told Anya M. Anderdotter a mystery for some time. I also assume that part 3 was the end of the story, so a lot of L's out of me recently, but to be fair to me. Okay, let's play the clip now.
Since you're so persistent, let me tell you a secret. Our child will one day rise from the dead.
Is she saying that dragon spine Durin will come back to life?
My boy, Durin's coming back to life, huh? Good for him. Honestly, you know, you've been here a while. You already know my thoughts on Durin's horrific situation. He got hoed in life, bro. Point blank. Hey, it is what it is, man. Let's just say what it is. The nigga got hoed by that bastard sinner rhinedottir, by Durin, by the Animo Archon Barbeloths, who's apparently supposed to have some connection with animals. Don't know where the fuck that ability went during his confrontation with Durin. But before we discuss the worrisome implications of his resurrection, we should all talk Durin. Well, the real Durin, and mini Durin, just because I saw some people confused as to what was going on there. Into that, Durin was a sizable dragon created in the precursor to the cataclysm by Gold Rhinedottir, a poisonous dragon. A venom-like substance constituted his blood, thanks to being made by powers from the abyss. Yet despite all of this, he is still one of Rhinedottir's greatest creations, rivaled only by Albedo. Quote, Rhinedottir created two miraculous beings. One is me, and the other is the venomous dragon Durin who died here. Yet, in spite of his scary appearance and poisonous abyssal-laced nature that brings ruin to all around him, Durin was a sweet, inquisitive child at heart who was unlucky enough to have his mother be the real monster. You know how sweet Durin was. Shortly after Durin was made, he said, quote, "Thank you, Mother, thank you. You gave me wings to soar in a mighty form. Mother, I wish to go to a land of lovely songs. I will tell them about you, Mother, and about everyone else. I shall tell them that the place where I was born is beautiful." How many of y'all, by the way, as soon as you were born, right at the womb, thanked your mother? Oh my God, Mother, you gave me life. Thank you. These are a mighty fine set of arms I got here. No one did that. But you know who did that? Durin did that, because that's just how kind-hearted he was. Sadly, however, Durin's poisonous nature proved far too much for the lands of Mondstadt to handle. Quote, "In olden times, the shadow dragon Durin, covetous of the peace Mondstadt enjoyed, came forth to defile the land. Durin's black wings blotted out the sky, releasing clouds of toxic fumes. So much so that even the thousand winds could not hold their pestilence and rot at bay, and thus fell black rain from the skies, the din of their downpour drowning the cries and groans of the people. The Animo Archon was awakened by the sound of their agony, and his heart was pierced by their despair, so he summoned Durin to his side, and striding themselves in storm, they pierced through the poisoned skies." And now it's in this very moment this story takes an especially heinous turn, as when Barbeloths and Durin showed up to kill Durin. During the encounter, Durin dreamed he, Durin, and the Animo Archon were all friends, and they were actually dancing in the skies, and that Barbeloths was playing music for them. It wasn't until Durin cut his throat, and Durin lay on Dragonspine bleeding out, that he realized they were killing him. Quote, "At last, the wind dragon's razor fangs pierced his foe's throat, and his great claws tore out its corrupted heart. The sinner's creation, filled with eternal regret, fell from the spotless skies and fell to ruin upon a snowy peak. That fierce battle in the distant skies had thus defended the people of the Animo Archon." Now what if I told you that this story, it gets even sadder? Yeah. In his final moments, Durin harbored no ill will towards anyone and simply said, quote, "Farewell, Mother, my journey is ended. I shall sleep beneath this white shining silver, and perhaps this too is good. Farewell, O lovely bard, and farewell, O lovely dragon. Would that we had met in a different time and place, to meet, to sing, and dance together." And where was she, huh? That dumb bitch he calls a mother, that others call gold, but that we rightfully call a sinner, huh? Where was she when her child was dying? Where? Maybe she had more important things to be doing. It was the cataclysm after all. Or maybe she was defending her homeland.
Gold, rhinedottir. No matter how eroded my memory may become, I will never forget their names. One day, I shall have my vengeance. And when the cataclysm occurred, not one of them stood up in defense of their nation. Not one came forward to prevent the tragedy.
Oh, so she wasn't doing that. So don't tell me she just abandoned this poor, sweet, little innocent creature she created to die a painful death all by itself.
He will be abandoned by his creator, and eventually...
I know, B. You've told me already. That sad story with the disappointing ending. It's what happened in the real world, isn't it?
See, my friends, this is the enemy. These are the people who oppose Celestia. Callousness, the audacity. She doesn't love her creations. Her children, she calls them. They are but logs to her. She created Durin and left it to die. She created Elinos and left it to die. She created Albedo, has left it, and maybe soon, he too will die.
If one day I lose control, destroy Mondstadt, destroy everything, can I rely on you to stop me?
But you know who doesn't abandon their creations? Their children. Who loves their creations? Who'd take a fucking bullet for their children? Celestia! Because time and time again, they've showed us that when any fucking thing threatens the sanctity of humanity's sovereignty on Teyvat, they will step up, and if they must use their bodies as a shield to protect humanity, and there is none greater example than that time that bastard crackhead Dragon King Nibelheim returned with crackhead strength, souped up on forbidden knowledge, to bring ruin to all and take on the might of the primordial one, a progenitor god, heard from beyond the stars. It was then we all saw that when the chips were down, Thanes has our fucking back, even if it costed them nearly everything. That is not callousness, my friends. That is love. As a matter of fact, rhinedottir was so heinous in her treatment of Durin, even members of her own coven, her sisters, lamented the fate that befell Durin, namely Anya M. Anderdotter, who promptly decided to write a fairy tale of paper beings who live in a magical world called Simulanka, and with the help of fellow mages Alice and Barbeloths, the world became a real one. Anderdotter, recalling the horrid fates Durin met in Teyvat, decided to create a dragon of her own and place it in Simulanka, and despite warnings from Barbeloths, she too would name it Durin, as she wanted this Durin to have a much happier ending than his real-life counterparts. Their stories mimicked each other's for some time. Both dragons were shunned by the people, their being brought ruin to those around them, and they were abandoned by their creators. However, Simulanka Durin had something real Durin didn't have. And that was a caring mother who took steps to ensure her child, Durin, wouldn't suffer a saddening and depressing fate, and thus our summer event came to be. God bless your heart, Anya. You were one of the good ones. A shame you had a short lifespan, and that fucking sinner rhinedottir still walks the earth. Well, in any case, it seems like all's not lost for real Durin, given now we know he's coming back to life. Somehow. The process by which this is happening is completely unknown, but given Albedo had been studying Dragonspine for quite some time and never gave us any indication of a third party being behind the resurrection, it seems to be happening naturally. Now, despite preparing for the worst possible outcome, which is reasonable, I mean, attitude aside, Durin is still poisonous thanks to his abyssal nature. God bless your hearts, you stupid bitch, rhinedottir. And barring some, mountain-absorbed all his abyssal blood, should he come back, he will be every bit as problematic as the last time he was around. And given, Venti's attitude that Mondstadt's problems are not Mondstadt's problems alone, he may be of no assistance. So what's the game plan, huh? Well, let's look at how Simulanka Durin was cleansed of his curse.
I, a traveler who has traversed many worlds, give to you my blessing. May you find friendship and goodwill, no matter where you go.
As for this world, I leave it to you.
Huh? What? Why are you all staring at me? Huh? My claws? Are these my claws? And my wings?
Ah, get this bitch ass nigga the fuck up off my screen, bro. The goddamn power of friendship. GG. I mean, look, if real life mimics fantasy, this process will involve giving Durin a new form, which is just... Who knows, though? Albedo said Skara, Bunch and Mini Durin will be required, so maybe something else can be done, but given Durin is an outgoing kid stuck in a scary monster body, and the lesson of the summer event was to just fucking conform, I feel like I already see where this is...